So, we're talking about eco games today, which is all about turning environmental education into action. We've all heard the warnings about our planet, right? But how do we actually get people, especially young people, to do something about it? Well, today we're looking at a pretty creative solution that turns the whole thing into a game. Let's dive in. You know how it is we all know the facts. We see the headlines, we learn about climate change and pollution. But there's this massive gap, this huge disconnect between knowing something is a problem and actually changing our behavior. And that's the real puzzle, isn't it? How do we take all that stuff we learn and make it a part of how we actually live our lives? Day in and day out, especially for the next generation. To figure that out, we've got to understand the problem. First, and well, it often starts in a place we all know very well, the classroom. Okay. So, a big part of this issue is something called theoretical learning. Basically, environmental science ends up being just another subject for a test. It just sits there in the textbook completely cut off from the real world happening right outside the window, and the result, well, you can probably guess this kind of approach just doesn't build real, lasting habits. When learning is passive, it completely fails to spark that personal connection, the feeling that you can actually make a difference. It just creates disengagement, not inspiration. What if we could flip that on its head? What if learning how to be sustainable felt less like a core and more like, well, a game? That's exactly the idea behind an app called Eco Games. I mean, just look at the difference here. We are moving from the static kind of boring textbook, to something that's vibrant, interactive, and actually invites you into a build something and make a difference. It's night and day, and that is Eco Games in a nutshell. It's an interactive platform with one big mission: to turn the lessons students are learning about the environment into real tangible actions they can take every single day. It's about living sustainably, not just reading about it. So how does it actually pull this off? Let's take a quick look under the hood and see the key features that really make this thing stick. Okay, so it starts with these daily goals. We're talking simple, totally tangible, achievable tasks like recycling a few plastic bottles or taking a shorter shower. When you complete them, you earn eco points, which creates this awesome positive feedback loop that keeps you coming back. But hey, it's not just about doing stuff. The learning part is big right in. You can take this little quiz on things like ecosystems, reality test what you know, and earn badges to show off your expertise. And come on, what's a game without a little friendly competition? The leaderboard has a super powerful social and motivational layer. You can see exactly how you are doing compared to your friends, which of course drives everyone to earn more points and in turn takes more positive action. It's not all about you versus your friends, though. The app has the really cool collaborative sign. You can join community hubs like Ocean Guardians here to team up on bigger challenges. It makes you feel like you're part of a real movement. So you see this amazing loop it creates, right? You learn something new, you act on it in the real world, you get rewarded and compete too little, and then you collaborate on a bigger scale. Each step just reinforces others, turning tiny actions into a consistent lifestyle. So the app system is clever. But the big question is, do these little points and badges actually translate into real progress in the world? And this is really the magic of it. Eco Games directly tackles that problem we talked about at the very beginning. It successfully connects the dots between what the students learn in a book and what they actually do when they get home. It makes caring for the environment personal, and the impact goes way beyond just one person. It fosters habit that creates a ripple effect, spreading to families and entire schools. Plus, this whole approach lines up perfectly with the bigger national goals like India's Sustainable Development Goals, and even supports the push for more hands-on experiential learning. You know, there's this quote right from the app's community hub that just says it all. Every small action counts. It's such a powerful reminder that all this massive change we need, it's really just a result of a ton of small actions all added together. So this all leads to the most important part of this conversation. Understanding how a solution like this works is great, but being part of it, well, that's something else entirely. And that leaves us with a pretty cool question to think about, doesn't it? We are all always looking for these massive top-down solutions, but what if the biggest change for our planet actually starts with something as small as simple as a game? At the end of the day, it's tools like Eco Games that show us something incredibly powerful. They put the ability to make a real difference right back into our hands. They show us that being part of the solution can be fun and rewarding. That's all for today. See you next time. Thank you.